Hello YouTube, thanks for watching. I'm Edmund, aka EZB. This is EZB Tactical. Today we're going to talk about one rifle that I love. I've been a fan of it. I've been trying to get one because I thought the SCAR 16S was too expensive and hard to obtain, very unobtainable. So the rifle I'm going to talk to you about today, it's not the SCAR 16S, although we will compare a little bit to the SCAR, but it's this favorite guy, the CZ Bren 2MS carbine. This is the carbine version, and they have one in pistol configuration. So stay tuned. Let's check out this rifle, why I like it, why I think it's one of the most amazing rifle at the moment if you are looking for something that is not an AR based platform. If you want to support the channel, consider trying Big Daddy Unlimited. Big Daddy Unlimited is a membership program, great store that has a lot of firearms, accessory, tactical gear, medical gear, all the cool tactical mindset 2A related content at a discounted price. I've been using them myself. I've been using them personally to purchase some of my firearms and accessories, and they reach out, and I'm testing out the affiliate program. So if you try Big Daddy Unlimited by getting a membership using the link in the description of this video, that will be a way to supporting the channel. And as many of you do that, I can get some support from them in making those contents even more enjoyable to you, or making sure we have access to some cool stuff so that you can be educated and entertained. So try Big Daddy Unlimited, sign up for the membership using the link in this video. Thanks. Okay, before we go any further, all farms in this video are unloaded, safety check, no magazine, no ammunitions around. Be a good conscious gun owner or gun enthusiast. Never point a firearm at something you don't intend to fire at. Always know what's behind your target. Wear eyes and ear protection. Never put your finger on the trigger unless you are ready to fire. Anyway, CZ Bren 2MS carbine. Very nice rifle. I've been wanting one of those for a long time because I thought this was a great replacement or a great alternative to the FN SCAR 16S. And throughout this video, we'll be talking more about that. I won't do a direct comparison to the SCAR, but I will be comparing a few times to the SCAR because, again, I thought the main reason I wanted one of those was because I thought the SCAR was way too expensive, and I felt like I would have the same satisfaction with the CZ Bren 2MS than with the SCAR. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. First thing first, this is the next, or successor I should say, of the CZ Bren 805, which is the military rifle for the Czechoslovakian army of choice. So the CZ Bren 2MS carbine is also available in the pistol configuration. However, this is actually a SCAR carbine. 16.25 inch barrel, cold hammer forged. I always forget this cold hammer forged barrel, short stroke gas piston system. So this is not a direct impingement gun. This is a short stroke gas piston system. One of the particularity is that the return spring is built in within the action. So you don't need a buffer tube. That's why the pistol and the carbine are very cool. Although this is a carbine, it has a foldable stock. There's no need for a buffer tube due to the action and the way it's built. The CZ Bren 2MS is lighter than the 805. It weighs about 7.3 pounds, It's got a monolithic upper that is made of aluminum carbon fiber reinforced, and it's got a carbon fiber reinforced lower polymer. So it's polymer with reinforced carbon fiber. M-lock attachment on the hand guard rail, full Picatinny length on top. It does not come with sights. All full Picatinny, no sights. This one currently, we'll talk about it, but it has a loophole scope on top of it now for the moment. The CZ Bren 2MS, the gas piston is adjustable to a couple of positions that we'll talk about. It's had this QD mount point here on each side of the rifle, on the lower back of the upper and on the stock. It's got a staple grip. There's stapling on the grip of the carbine. Ambidextrous safety lever. Ambidextrous magazine release. Ambidextrous bolt release. Actually, no. It's got a bolt catch that's available to the trigger. So you can hold the bolt and release it by operating with your finger in the trigger guard, which I think is pretty cool. It doesn't come with any sight, but it has a non-reciprocating charging handle. And the charging handle also works like a forward assist. The charging handle can be swapped from either side, so you could have it on the left side or the right side. Without going to a gunsmith, you can do this at home. The whole forehand of the CZ Bren 2MS is modular, so the platform can be swapped, the forehand can be swapped and modified. This is one of the reasons why this firearm was attracting to me, the modularity and the different length and various uppers that you could swap on the lower platform. With the stock folded, you're looking at 28-inch. With the stock deployed, it's 35.6 inches of length. Multiple adjustable position from the stock as usual. 1, 2, I think it's 3 position, 1, 2, and 3. It's got 2 swivel point mount for a sling attachment, as well as the QD mounts I mentioned. It's not the CZ Bren's fault at all. So there's no sights. It doesn't come with sights, not even the cheap one, not even removable one. So that's a drawback, I think. However, in this configuration, this loophole scope 1 to 8, 1 to 6 by 24 is very crisp, very clear. But the Wilson mount that we're using right now, that I'm using, are very sharp, and you can easily cut your finger or catch yourself when you are operating the charging handle. So that's one of the drawbacks in this particular configuration. So it's not enough. The position of the charging handle with this particular mount, this has been cutting my finger quite a bit. This scope is very nice. I mean, loophole scope, very clear glass. We won't do a full review on it, but it's a very nice product. CDS ZL2 V6, so loophole VX6HD 6 by 24. Let's compare this shooting wise. Let's talk about the CZ Bren and how shoots very well. I shot it against the Scar 16. First of all, it feels, although it feels lighter, the Scar 16 is a little bit lighter, just a little bit lighter than the CZ Bren. I love the trigger on the CZ Bren because it kind of has two positions. It has a little detent. You reach a little wall and then you press it and it goes. So if you wanted to do very accurate shot at longer range, that little wall, I think for me anyway, helps a little bit because you pull, you remove the slack, and then you just gently press the trigger, and then if you do that repetitively, your grouping and your shots will be on very well, very smooth action. I love the stippling of the grip, and I love the fact that this is not an A2 style grip, so it's flush there. It doesn't have the A2 bump there. I definitely enjoy the catch and bolt release through the trigger. Although you have to have a strong finger, you can't really use the side of your finger. You more use the tip of it, unless you walk out your fingers, which I don't necessarily. Love the ambidextrous products. Right, mag release, safety lever, and I guess we may say the ball catch and release are ambidextrous, although it's right in the middle, so technically you could use either hand to operate it, so let's call that an ambidextrous function as well. Now, I don't really have a problem with the stock on the Scar 16. Some people don't like it, but I should say the stock on the CZ Bren 2, it's pretty sturdy. Big block of polymer with carbon fiber reinforced as well. Folds very well. Latches onto the frame. Latches onto the ejection. How do you call that? The little tab that deflect the shield deflector. Expandable. You can adjustable. You can adjust the stock. You could also shoot this as a pistol if you have the stock folded, but of course it's not as balanced as it is. That's the when you deploy the stock. The controls are in the same position than a typical AR platform. In terms of the selector, the safety lever, the mag release button, and the bolt catch and release button. So similar than the AR-15. The adjustable gas block has three positions: 0, T, and 1. So actually the proper designation from CZ is a gas regulator, not much of a gas adjustable gas block. It's a gas tube regulator. So it's got three positions: 0, 1, and 2, which is marked by 1, T, and 0. The position 1 is your standard position. This is where the rifle is shipped, in the position in which the rifle is shipped. This is for your standard usage. You technically should leave it on that position the entirety of you using the firearm. The second position, which is marked by letter T on the button, is for adverse conditions, and by adverse condition, the user manual means if your CZ Bren 2 Bren 2 MS is not firing properly because of ammunition, or the environmental condition, if it's dirty, or if you have some elements that are affecting the way it's regulating the gas, you can put on that position T, which is our position 2. And then the third position is the one that's marked by 0. It's to close the gas regulator. You're not supposed to shoot the rifle in that position. It technically closes the gas tube. So keep it on number 1 unless you absolutely have issues and you have some temporary need to fire and improve the gas management. Then you can go to position T, which is the adverse position. Otherwise, you're technically supposed to leave it on position 1. And position 0 is to close the gas tube, which is not where you want it to be when you are firing the rifle. So in terms of comparison, so the SCAR 16, which we will probably do another video on, we will do another separate video. The SCAR 16 is pretty cool. I really wanted one for the collection for the sake of collectability, because at some point SCAR weren't selling those to the civilian market anymore. I like the way they look unique. I like the gas block, the same short stroke gas piston block, etc, etc. I like the color, so on and so forth. However, this is so much more expensive than the CZ Bren 2MS, which is going up there as well too. But the SCAR 16 or 17S or the 20 are quite expensive. Now, they are very similar, I think. The CZ Bren always remind me of the SCAR platform. The SCAR has, I feel, also a non-reciprocating charging handle, although you can have some with reciprocating charging handle. I feel like the charging handle, it's a little bit lighter to operate than the one for the CZ Bren 2. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like pressing the charging handle on the SCAR just takes a little less. I mean, almost nothing, not noticeable, but a little less effort than the one for the CZ Bren 2. The lower receiver, same take up, same mode of disassembly. One pin on the upper part towards the magazine to release the lower receiver. Open, push that pin, pull out, and the receiver comes out. I do think the SCAR 16S has a little bit better design when it comes to certain details. For example, the construction in the back of the lower receiver that goes inside the back plate where the stock is a little more intricate, looks a little more built up, more engineered, I should say, than the one on the CZ Bren, which is just a plastic tab. Now, simplicity sometimes is easier, but it looks a little more robust on the SCAR for those kind of details, right? Otherwise, I know it's not the conclusion of the video yet, but I feel like the best, if you have the money, the best buy is on the CZ Bren, because the SCAR is super cool and unique, but it's very overpriced, I think. Now, maybe they don't age the same way. I don't know. I have not done any torture test, or I don't have thousands of rounds on either one of the guns, either one of the rifle. Similarities, a lot of similarities. So charging handle, both are non-reciprocating. Short stroke gas piston on both guns. The SCAR 16 does come with sights. Removable rear sight. On this one, I actually removed the rear sight because I'm testing this magnifier. Front sight adjustable, rear side removable. Gas block also has 2 positions on the SCAR 16. Charging handle can also be swapped from left to right. The SCAR 16 also has ambidextrous safety lever, ambidextrous mag release. It does not have the cool ball catch release button on the trigger guard or anywhere else. I think the CZ Bren has a better mounting options for quick detachment for sling, especially if you used to run typical AR platform sling like the Blue Force Gear or something of those brand. The SCAR has more of a swivel hole, keyhole points for the sling. You can put some adapters like I did on mine to make them QD enabled, but again, we'll have another video on the SCAR itself and how I set mine up. Stock foldable, just like on the CZ 2 Bren. I feel like the SCAR button is a little harder to push to fold the stock. I also like the fact that on the SCAR, the SCAR has an adjustable cheek rise, or there is a cheek rise you can bring up and down. The CZ Bren 2 carbine does not have one. Perhaps there's one you can add as an extra part, but I have not looked into that yet. M-Lock design hand rail on the CZ Bren 2MS. Standard 1913 Picatinny rail on the 3 sides of the SCAR 16S. However, you can remove them and make it a little more slimmer. So the SCAR 16S has also a full long Picatinny rail on top, just like the CZ Bren 2, but it also has Picatinny rail on the 12, 6, and 3 position, 3 o'clock positions. I felt like the SCAR 16 was, it's hard to tell now, but I felt like the SCAR 16 has a tiny little bit more recoil. Well, actually, no. I think the CZ Bren, when I shot them back to back, side to side, I felt like I felt the recoil a little bit more on the CZ Bren 2 than the SCAR. But I'll have to go back and rethink again. But it was very well, the difference was very minimal. The CZ Bren 2 was pretty flat to shoot, and this is a 5.56 cartridge, by the way. It's not a 7.62 by 39. Flat shooter, and maybe the fact that I'm using this Leupold scope, which is very clear, I had a good time shooting it easy. I wasn't doing any marksmanship shots. I didn't take anything too far out. I didn't compare in that capacity. Maybe in the future. I was purely trying to get to know the rifles and get to compare both of them. I did like something though. I like how on both rifles you don't have to pull that charging handle very far before the trigger is reset. Basically, I was trying to count, and it's only 1, 2, 3, 4 in average. At the 4th Picatinny rail, the trigger is already recessed, and I think the SCAR 16 is a little bit takes a little bit less room to reset the trigger than the CZ Bren 2. So that may be a worthless comparison, but I found that very interesting. The SCAR 16 the SCAR 16 charging handle needs to travel only a little less more to reset the trigger compared to the CZ Bren 2 MS, which I think it helps when you are trying to reload or go back into action rapidly. You don't have to pull that charging handle all the way back, and I like that. Really, I really think the CZ Bren 2 MS is a very good alternative to getting a SCAR 16S. If you like today's content, share the video, post a comment. Let me know what you think of the SCAR. Let me know what you think of the CZ Bren MS. And then subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.